One of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time is, with so many different skincare products from The Ordinary, how the heck do you know how to apply them and how to layer them? And we're going to talk about that next. Hey there and welcome. I'm Carla, your real chick from Real Chicks TV. Your home for all things beauty, fashion, skincare, makeup, lifestyle, and all those girly things for the woman over 40. If that's you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell next to it so that you'll never miss one of my videos. Okay, today we are talking about The Ordinary and specifically how to layer it, because there are hundreds of different products from The Ordinary and it can get quite confusing. But there is a method to the madness, if you will, as to how to layer The Ordinary. And I've done several other Ordinary videos, and I will link them in the description box down below. In those, I get into very specifically what each product is for. I have one video that is my top 10 and another video in which I go over 25 different Ordinary products. So I will tell you in those videos what each one is for and what problems they specifically address. In this video today, we're going to talk specifically about how to put them together, how to layer them, what comes first, and what goes where. Because ever since I've done those other Ordinary videos, that's the #1 request that I get and the #1 question that I get. How the heck do you put all these things together? It's actually quite simple. Here's the biggest thing that you're going to remember. Go from the lightest to the heaviest. Go from the most watery to the thickest. That's really it. So I have several products laid out here. I'm going to give you some examples. The first thing you're obviously going to do is start out with a clean face. And I'm mentioning that because The Ordinary now has a cleanser. It's new. It's a squalane cleanser. And it is a nice creamy consistency. Let me let you see that a little bit better. It's nice and creamy. It's good for all skin types. It has squalane in it, so it addresses many skin concerns. It's a beautiful cleanser. It smells a little bit like glue, if you want to know the truth, but that dissipates. And it is a beautiful cleanser. I wanted to mention that since it's new. So you would obviously start out with your cleanser. If you decide to use the Ordinary one, this is a nice one, the squalane cleanser. So after you've cleansed your face, you're going to want to go to your serums or products that are watery. Now for me, that first one would be the Glycolic Acid 7% toning solution. See how watery it is? It's basically a water. It's a toner, and it's pretty much just water with stuff in it. Okay, so you're going to put that on a cotton pad and you're going to put that all over your face just like you would any other toner, any other type of toner. Then you go to your serums that have the thinnest, most watery consistency. In this case, I've got the Azelaic and I've got the amino acids plus B5. Now let's take a look at these. Even though this one's in a darker bottle, it is really drippy and watery. See how watery that is? See, if I move my hand, it's going to come right out just like water. Just like water. So you've got that one, and then the Azelaic is the same way. Let's take a look at this. Very watery. See, just pours out just like water. So I'm making a mess here, so my hands are going to get a nice treatment, but I want you to see how watery that is. So whether you're using specifically the Azelaic or the amino acids, whatever, and even if you're not using The Ordinary, whatever serums you're using, you go from your water solution then to your watery serums. Then your next ones are going to be the next thickest. And they typically have a little bit of both water and oil in them. So in this case, I'm talking about the alpha arbutin, the caffeine solution, and the alpha lipoic acid 5%. They all have pretty much the same consistency. You'll see they're still thin, but we're getting a little bit thicker now. Let's take a look at that. Still thin, but it doesn't run quite as much. See, it's a little bit thicker. Didn't run just like the water. So it goes into my hands now, but you would obviously put it on your face. So all three of those, or any that falls into the category where it's still liquidy but not watery, that would be your next. So we've got our waters, our thin ones, and then your next would be something that's thicker. Then we have another category. It gets even thicker than that. For example, the Buffet. I'm going to have to get something to wipe my hands off with here. Buffet is a peptide serum that is quite thick. Look at that. It's almost gooey. And as you can see with my hand, nothing is coming off. Nothing is coming off at all. If I try to pour it into my hand, it runs. Only because I've got an excessive amount. But see, there you go. It's not going anywhere. So there are several that fall into that category. Buffet is one of them. The hyaluronic acid is one of them. Niacinamide is one of them. And matrixyl is one of them. So those are certainly quite thick. Oh, my hands are really loving this today. So you would add those after you've gotten the ones that are more medium applied. So you've got your water, your really thin ones, your medium consistency, your thick consistency, and then you're going to go for anything that's a cream. And in this case, I've got the magnesium absorbable phosphate. This is a vitamin C stabilized derivative. As you can see, this is a cream. So you're going to apply that. And it goes on just fine on top of the other serums that we've already applied. And you decide whether or not you want to allow them to dry in between. In putting this video together, I did consult with a couple of skincare experts, both estheticians and makeup artists, and they tell me that it's really up to a personal preference. Now this one here is the Azelaic Acid Suspension, 10%. Again, we've got a cream. So I did consult with several skincare experts, estheticians, makeup artists to try to get you the most accurate information that I could, because I am not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, I'm not a skincare expert, I don't work in the field at all, and I want to make sure that the information that I give you is relayed straight from the horse's mouth, and that it's the most accurate information that I can provide you. But always do your own research and always do what feels right for you, and always consult with a professional. That's the smartest thing that you can do. But this is a guideline. You asked for it, so I'm going to provide it. Speaking of guidelines, The Ordinary on their website has a great guide, kind of what goes when, AM, PM, as well as the layering process. I'll link that in the description box below for you, so you can consult that and really see what goes where and when. Makes it much easier for you. That's where I got a lot of this information from. The Ordinary does a very good job of providing that kind of information, because they know that when you're dealing with single ingredients like these are, as opposed to a serum that has 14 of these ingredients in it, they know it can get confusing. So go ahead and consult that guide. It'll be down below. Now I want to point out that this magnesium absorbable phosphate, this is a stabilized vitamin C derivative. Now this particular one is in a cream form, but some vitamin C's come in a liquid form. If your vitamin C is in a liquid form, if you're not using this particular one from The Ordinary, you would put it in order with the others, whether it's a watery consistency, a medium consistency, a thick gooey consistency, or a cream. So if it's a liquid one, put it in the order. Is it really thin and watery? Is it medium? Or is it thick? Just work it in. Now the next two products that you would apply are a personal preference, because it was split down the middle with the experts that I consulted as to whether or not the oils should come first and then the moisturizer, or the moisturizer first and then the oils. And what they all told me was that it really came down to personal preference. So what I tend to do is, after I've done all of my order, again, we've got our waters, our very thin watery substances, our medium thickness, our gooey thickness, our creams, and I go ahead and do the oils at that time. I've got the cold pressed Moroccan argan oil, I've got the borage seed oil, I've got the bee oil. I use a ton of the oils. I just make a little cocktail and put them all together. The rose hip seed oil, love that one. And these are also reasonably priced. You just can't go wrong. So you would go ahead and apply your oils, and even though these may look a little thicker, a little thinner. Even though these may look a little thinner than some of the other things that we applied, they're heavier in weight and in density. So you would apply, see how that's just going down the skin like that? It's definitely a heavier consistency, and when you apply it, it feels just like oil. So it's not so much that it's thicker, but it's heavier, if that makes any sense. It is definitely an oil. So I choose to apply my oils at this time, and then I use the natural moisturizing factors plus hyaluronic acid. And I do this as the final step. Again, a nice thick cream. And one esthetician that I consulted with told me that she likes to do the moisturizer specifically last because she feels like it just kind of sets those oils and everything else in place. Just kind of seals it all in. That makes perfect sense to me. If you prefer your oils last, that's your preference. Or if you are like me and you like the idea of the moisturizer really just kind of putting everything in place and sealing it all in and a nice tight seal going on there, then you would put your moisturizer last. So again, we've got our water consistency, medium consistency, thick gooey consistency, creams, oils and moisturizer, your choice of which one you want to put on very last. So everything goes from the thinnest to the thickest, and that's how you put together an ordinary layering routine. Now, as to what specific products you would put in your routine, obviously I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, plus a whole bag full of ordinary products. You're not going to use all of them at once. You're going to consult with the Ordinary Guide as well as the videos that I've made that tell you what addresses what concerns. Pick out maybe 5 or 6 or even up to 10 if you want to, or as little as 2 or 3 that address the specific concerns of your skin, and then take them in the order of their thickness, and that's how you would put it together. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope it's answered some of your questions. If you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up, please. Smash that thumbs up button and smash the subscribe button and smash the little notification bell next to it so that you'll never miss one of my videos. I'm Carla. This is Real Chicks TV. Thank you so much for joining me today. It always makes my day much more special when you're a part of it and when you keep me company. So until next time, keep your head, heels, and standards high. Much love to you. Bye-bye. Oh, now my neighbors are going to start with the chainsaw again. Thanks a lot, guys.